So we're going to show the process of student curation here. And the idea here is that a student comes to the site, finds stuff that other people have worked on the project, pulls it over to their site, and then maybe, hopefully, improves some of it. So the first thing I'll show you is when the student comes to their site and they just click recent changes, they just see the changes that they've done. There's a weird situation here where a sandbox edit is getting in the way, but for the most part they just see the changes that they've done. So what we want to do is we want to see what changes have other people federated with this site done. And I'm using the word there very loosely. And so we open up this page, right? And this page actually will show us people associated with the site, both here in terms of their names, and then in colors. All these colors match these icons here, based on the people who have edited this project page, right? Because the way you join the project is you fork this project page and bring it to your own site. So what happens here is that we want to now look at recent changes now that these people are in our neighborhood. And now we see a quite different picture, right? If we look down here at these different icons, we can see that there are a variety of different sites in our neighborhoods. If we look over here, we can see that there's 160 pages in our neighborhood, versus if we collapse our neighborhood back down to just us, we'll see that we have 66 pages there, right? So there's significantly more pages across our network than we have. So we want to go and look and see if any of those pages are helpful to our project of creating a site on the hidden history of online learning. And so we go to the recent pages, and what we can see is that I'm blue here. Anything that doesn't have a blue icon is a page I don't have, because the icons, the different colors of the icons all represent different people. So we can also see recent changes. If I know that I didn't edit something in the past hour, I know that someone else must have edited it. So right here, let's go to a page we don't have. We click on this. We get this blue boundary around this page, which shows us that it's not on our site. Kind of neat here. It's a quote on the University of Louisville's radio-assisted courses from the late 1940s. And what we're thinking is we'll pull that to our site. That's pertinent, right? And it's not a question of, well, what reason would you have to pull it to that site or anything like that. The default action is if you feel something is useful to you, you pull it to your site. So we might go in here then later, right, and we might edit this and we might add some other information we have that says, interestingly, I think it was the president of U of L later went on to UNESCO, right? Which later became an advocate of OER, right? So that's one way to do it. Pull some stuff that other people have added to your site and edit it, or try to improve it, or customize it to your needs. We can go here too. This was edited within the hour, which means there's probably something new on it. So in this case, we have the page on our site, but what we can see up here is that there are some newer versions of this page that we haven't seen. So let's take a look at the newer version. Now, just in case you can't see what's different there, I think it's actually kind of obvious what's different there. But we can look at the changes since we forked that page by hovering over this, and you'll see a slight yellow highlight over those changes as I hover over these, right? It could be a little, I think it could be a little bit, at least on my laptop, it could be a little bit more pronounced, but you can see it there. And so you can see that these early television projects have been brought over to the site. And so I'm going to just pull that new thing to my site, and then if I click on this link, okay, that's the page I just dragged in. Click on this link. I apparently already had that page. Looking at this, though, this isn't just early television projects. There's also an early radio project in there, right? So we're going to say early radio and television projects. if this is going to be on our site, that's how we want to label it. Now, when other people involved here on this page, and there would be these people, come to this page, if they have accepted any of our changes in the past, what they'll see is that I've made a change to this page. They'll come here and they'll see that I've changed this heading. And they'll choose to accept that or not accept that, as the case may be. But this is the process. And of course, I'm showing a very abbreviated process here. I mean, hopefully, for a lot of this, students would go off and do more significant research. But it gives you the idea of what it's like to come back to a site, surf it, and then pull in the pieces you need. I should say, additionally, there may be pieces that I don't need. There is, when people edit their welcome visitors page, right, I don't actually need to, I'm not going to pull their page on top of mine, right, because that's their welcome visitors page. And there may be also some other stuff that works its way in here. This is a scratch pad of some ideas that I don't think is really relevant to what I'm doing. So I'm not gonna pull it in. But this is the basic idea of how it works, and I think it's while it seems very complex to me after using it for a fairly short time, it feels like a really natural way of working.